Alrighty.
Okay.
We're rolling.
Okay. So I watched a movie the other day that made me think of our rom-com episode.
What movie?
Just got added to Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet Home Alabama.
Oh my God.
Have you seen that one?
Yeah, with Reese Witherspoon.
Yes, it's so good. And actually, it's one that I considered watching for our rom-com episode, but it wasn't like available to stream. And also, I watched so many others. I rewatched that one with my sister and was just reminded of how good of a rom-com that really is. Like, It has all the elements. And so many tropes, the love triangle, a mistaken identity, the grand gesture,
second chance,
yes, that trope. So so many good tropes and such a good movie, and I really enjoyed it, and I think it probably would have scored really high on our scorecards. Yeah,
we had a listener they slid into our DMs on our Instagram and recommended a rom-com fairly recent from 2018, and it's called When We First Met. And I just watched that on Netflix because, this listener had recommended it to us. It stars Adam Devine.
Okay, it's so funny you bring that up because my sister watched that one too. I only caught parts of it. I didn't sit down and watch the whole thing.
I thought it was really cute.
Yeah?
Yes. I thought it was really cute. I thought it was like a fun sort of twist.
Because it's like a little time travel situation, right?
Yes. So it's like, the main character, he is in love with a woman, and he feels like he sort of blew his chance with getting with her. And then he's able to go back in time. He figures out a way to go back in time. And so basically the movie is him going back in time to make a better impression on her so that he doesn't change the timeline so he doesn't blow his chance or whatever. And I'm not going to ruin it, but I did think it was really cute. And probably because of the time travel, they're able to do so many different tropes because he goes back multiple times.
Yeah.
To try to do things differently. Yeah. I thought that one was cute too.
Okay. I walked into the room while my sister was watching that. And so I didn't see the whole thing, but I got the gist of it, and it kind of made me want to watch the whole thing. So
I recommend.
Okay. I'll have to add that one to the list too. So I also was thinking of you because I had an interesting word of the day the other day because, I have the Merriam-Webster app. And it gives you your little...
As one does.
Yes, as one does. It gives you your little word of the day. And it kind of reminded me, not that it's directly related to idioms and sayings, but it was a part of speech that I had not heard of.
Oh.
So it's metonymy, as spelled METONYMY.
Okay.
And... so it refers to a figure of speech in which a word that is associated with something is used to refer to the thing itself. I had to read this definition 3 times, but then they give some examples. So when people say the crown, as in the king or the queen, so it's a thing that also refers to people. And then they said Wall
the White
Street.
House. Yeah, Wall Street.
Wall Street, Silicon Valley, and Hollywood would all be common examples of metonymy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right? So that was making me think too, if I could, I don't know, think of any others, but I was having trouble. It's just not something I thought of very often, but I thought that was a really interesting part of speech that I wasn't familiar with.
I know, now I want to try to come up with more examples of this. Interesting.
Yes. So pay attention and be on the lookout for more metonyms or metonymy. I guess metonymy is the noun, I guess. So, So there you go. There's your word.
All right.
Word education for the day.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's all I got. I'm Katie.
And I'm Emily.
We're two long-distance best friends with a passion for learning about all the things that make everyday life interesting.
With my PhD in geography
and my master's in library science,
doing deep dives on topics is our idea of a fun time together. We'll share our findings with you on
Researching the Obvious.
Well, we're fully into holiday season, I feel like. Yes. And I don't know, I'm sure everyone has their own way of celebrating the holidays. And I thought it would be fun to talk about interesting ways people celebrate the holidays. Last year we sort of did that with Halloween a little bit. And now I feel like it's kind of fun to do it with Christmas time. But I don't know, does your family have any fun or interesting holiday traditions?
Yeah, so our tradition that we kind of created, or that my parents created when we were kids, is that on Christmas Eve, we watch Christmas movies, usually Christmas Vacation, and then we rotate through a couple of others of our favorites.
Classic.
Yes. And argue about whether or not we should watch Elf, because we're a house divided on whether or not Elf is a good Christmas movie or not.
I feel like Elf is a divisive movie.
Yeah. My dad can't stand it, but we all think it's hilarious. So yeah, we watch Christmas movies, and then while we watch Christmas movies, we have a fondue. So cheese? So we do cheese, oil, and chocolate.
Oh, you do the trifecta.
Yeah. And well, in recent years, we've done the oil less and less, and my dad will just grill steaks or something. So do cheese and chocolate, but sometimes we do the oil too. But as kids, we just loved the idea of fondue. I don't know what it is, if it's about the little pieces of food or your own little forks or just dipping things.
It feels snacky without necessarily being snacky. I don't know.
I think it was just something novel, and my parents had this fondue pot from the 1970s. It was probably a wedding present. And I think we found it in the closet. We're like, oh, we have to do fondue. And so I think we ended up doing it for Christmas Eve one year, and just we loved that so much. We kept on doing it. So we still do that.
I love that, though. I think that's really cute.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Because, who has fondue parties anymore?
Right? That's what I'm saying. It's
I know.
Kind of a novel thing.
Yeah.
Even though it's been around forever, I feel like people don't really do that often.
It was the pre-charcuterie craze.
Yes. It's like charcuterie on steroids, really.
Yes. I love that. What's your favorite thing to dip in fondue?
Well, for the chocolate, I love the strawberries and pineapple, so any kind of fruit. In the cheese, my favorite thing to dip in the cheese is actually green apples, which I know sounds weird, but a really good tart apple with the rich cheese fondue. Oh my God, it's so good.
Yum. I like dipping broccoli in the cheese.
Ooh. Wait, raw or cooked?
I've done both, but I'm a big fan of raw broccoli, so
okay.
I like
That's a good idea. I don't think we've ever done broccoli. Yeah, usually for the cheese, we do bread and the apples, and just a lot of bread.
Oh. I feel like when I do cheese fondue, I do broccoli, sometimes cauliflower, potatoes, sometimes little cooked potatoes.
Oh, I love that idea.
And bread.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to my dad about some little cooked potatoes.
New tradition.
Yes. Add to the fondue table. What about you? What do you do at Christmas that's unique to your family?
So I wouldn't say necessarily specifically on Christmas, but my Hungarian part of my family, we have a pretty specific holiday tradition where the family all gets together, extended family and whatnot, and make Hungarian sausage. And so in Hungarian, it's called kolbász, and it is made of ground pork and a lot of garlic.
A lot of garlic.
A
I actually
lot.
witnessed this last
Yes.
year because we were lucky enough to be invited, and we peeled garlic for days.
Yes. Yeah. Basically, we all get together and then you start at like, I don't know, 11:30, peel it in the morning, peeling garlic, and you peel lots of cloves of garlic, and then you can either use a garlic press or, you know, if you want to speed up the process, put it in a blender, and then you dump that into the ground pork with salt and pepper and a little water. That's
Mm-hmm.
basically the ingredients, and then you make the sausage with it, which, if people aren't familiar how to make sausage, you take a pig intestine and then you have to blow up the pig intestine as you would a balloon to make sure there's no holes in it.
Yes, that's right. I got to do that last year.
Yes.
It was very salty.
They're very salty and kind of weird tasting. And you have to blow them up and then you put it on the sausage grinder. And we have a sausage grinder that is pretty old and it has a picture of my great grandparents making the kielbasa on the grinder. And so it's just been like this tradition in my family to make this sausage every year. And then the way we cook it is you take a big piece of it. It's usually an 8-pound piece of it. It's usually very large. And like all large, coiled up. And then you put it in a big roasting pan. You bake it in the oven and then you put sauerkraut in it and bake it with the sauerkraut. And so we make that in December. We have a holiday party with our family to make that. And then usually on Christmas Eve, we don't anymore. Well, at least I don't anymore, just because now I'm a vegetarian. But growing up, and I think my parents still do, on Christmas Eve, they'll make the kielbasa again for Christmas Eve dinner. So, yeah. And you serve it with rye bread and applesauce and usually some kind of vegetable or whatever. That's like a side dish. But yeah.
It's delicious.
Yes.
Because I got to try it last year. I got to tell you, I can't believe there's only salt, pepper, and garlic in that because it has so much flavor. But I think it's like just the sheer amount of garlic that goes into it it's
a lot.
The main flavor. But it's so good.
It's just one of those things that like my family always did growing up, but like for generations, you know, since my great grandparents moved over from Hungary. And it's a good time. It's usually our holiday time.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that in college and saying that when you think of Christmas smells, you don't think of like cinnamon and clove. You think of garlic.
Oh, yeah.
Like garlic makes you think of Christmas.
Oh, absolutely. If I smell garlic roasting or something like that, it for sure transports me to Christmas time. And then also because you're peeling so much garlic, your hands just reek of the garlic for days and you try to wash them and it doesn't really all come out. So you just end up smelling like garlic. So yeah, I feel like the smell of garlic is a very Christmassy smell in my house. Yep. That's basically our Christmas tradition. I don't think we have any other like unique ones, you know. We do the standard like Christmas stockings and gifts and things like that.
Did you get to open any gifts on Christmas Eve?
Ooh, that's a good question. So we were allowed to open, for whatever reason, we were always allowed to open a gift that came from my dad's cousins. So they didn't live near us. And so they would always mail the gift to us. And so we would get the gift from them and they always gave us a book every year for Christmas. And so we were always allowed to open their gift on Christmas Eve, but they would always send really cool books, like some really cool, like, especially when we got older, they would even send like a really cool pop-up book that had like artistic, like pop-up things, you know, carved into it and stuff. You know what I mean? So it was like fun or like cool or like unique books that they'd send us. So that was always fun to open on Christmas Eve because it also gave us like something to do and to look at. But that was the only one.
Kind of a surprise, but kind of not a surprise.
Yeah. Were you?
Yes, we were allowed to open one on Christmas Eve,
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know where I got this idea, but I just remember lobbying my parents hard to open a present on Christmas Eve. Like, I don't know if one of my friends had this tradition, or maybe it was just like pure impatience. Like, you gotta let us open something because we're dying here. But I remember really, really being like, we should be able to do this. We should be able to pick like one present.
Yeah.
So yeah, at some point that did start becoming a tradition where we could pick one present from under the tree that was already wrapped. And of course, the not so great part about that is if you picked a present that was kind of boring, like, I don't know, socks or something like that. And then you're like, oh man, I was really hoping it's going to be a cool toy, but it was I say socks, like that's such a bad gift. Like now, like I literally ask my parents for socks every year, like expensive socks, like fancy socks. It's like I really look forward to it, but then that would have been a disappointing gift.
I literally texted my mom and was like, "Hey, if you were gonna put socks in my stocking this year, these are the ones that I want specifically."
Yes. So I told my parents the other day, I was like, I guess this is how you know we're getting old, because I'm very excited about getting my socks this year, because we were having a whole discussion about socks I needed. Do I need ankle socks or do I need mid-calf?
Yeah.
So yeah, we were like going through the socks that were needed, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to get socks. I don't want to spend $18 on this pair of socks.
So when I was looking up different holiday traditions for this episode, though, there is specifically one tradition that requires that you get clothing for Christmas.
Really?
Yeah. I was looking up some Christmas traditions from Iceland because Kevin and I went to Iceland several years ago and just stumbled upon some of these traditions. And so I wanted to look up more of it. But yeah, there is a giant Christmas cat that comes down from the mountains.
Oh, I love
at
that.
Christmas time.
That's so much better than Santa.
He eats humans.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yes.
Well, never mind.
Yep. But only the humans that haven't received any clothing for Christmas. So if you get clothing for Christmas, the Christmas cat's not going to eat you. So you got to make sure that someone gives you at least one article of clothing for Christmas so that you can be saved from the Christmas cat.
Okay. Well, I will be covered by my socks, but that's fascinating. So I wonder if that was like a way to get kids to not be disappointed in getting clothes for Christmas.
Yeah. Iceland has honestly some crazy Christmas traditions, but I'm kind of obsessed with it. So the Christmas cat is just one piece of this whole lore of Icelandic tradition. So like I said, I didn't know about this at all until I just was randomly in Iceland and stumbled upon it, literally, which I'll get to in this story of this situation. So basically in Iceland, they don't have the traditional Santa Claus situation. They have what are called the Yule lads. So the Yule lads.
Okay.
And these are 13 basically trolls, 13 trolls, and they live up in northern Iceland. So they live in this area in the north called Mybatin at Dimmuborgir.
Okay. Good job.
Yeah. Which that word Dimmuborgir, it means basically like dark fortress or dark cities. Okay. And so Kevin and I were up in northern Iceland, and this is like really far north, like you could get to the Arctic Ocean far north. Okay. And we're up and we stop at Dimmuborgir, which is this crazy sort of lava field, and it has these very tall lava cone structures that exist, and so you can go hiking through it. And so we're hiking through it, and all of a sudden we come across this cave, and the cave has these little like beds all set up and some like clothes hanging on a clothesline, and you're like a little broom, and a pot over a fire. And we were like, what is happening here? And then there's a sign that's like, this is the home of the Yule lads.
Oh, dear.
Yes. So we quite literally stumbled upon the home of the Yule lads while we were hiking around. And we were like, I'm sorry, the what? The Yule lads?
So instead of like the married North Pole elves in a workshop, you happened into the cave of the trolls that
yes.
come down from the north.
Yes. So basically, they live in the Highlands with their troll parents who are named Grilla and Lipaldi. Anyway, and so they also have the big black cat named Jolacotterin, I think is how you say it. Okay, their Christmas cat. And so Grilla, their mom, is this giant, horrible troll who steals naughty children and cooks them in a pot.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. And her husband is this super lazy, by the way, it's her third husband specifically. So I guess she had 2 other husbands. But so her third husband is very lazy, and basically he just like wanders around with a giant sack and collects the children for her.
Well, that doesn't sound that lazy to me. I mean, that sounds like a lot of work.
I know. And so then the Yule lads, they, during the Christmas season, come down from the mountains and they bring little presents to all the children when they come down from the mountains. So there's 13 of them. So Christmas in Iceland technically starts on December 11th when the first Yule lad comes down from the mountains and leaves a little gift in the children's shoes that they leave out for the Yule lads. And then every night for 13 nights, a different Yule lad comes down and leaves a different gift. And then the Christmas season ends because after all the Yule lads come down, then they slowly go back up one at a time. And so Christmas is officially over on January 6th when the last Yule lad has returned to his home. Okay. And that day, January 6th, that day is called the 13th as like the name of the holiday. And on that day, there's usually like parades of people dressed like trolls or like troll figures and things like that. And then big bonfires and fireworks because the Yule lads have returned to their home in the north.
Interesting. So the January 6th is the 13th, which confusing. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
And so we like the troll lads, but we don't like the parents.
Yes, because, well, only if you're naughty, I guess.
Right.
The parents will eat you if you're naughty, but the Yule lads will bring you little gifts. But the Yule lads are also super mischievous, and they all have different characteristics and names. So the first Yule lad that comes on December 11th is named Sheepcoat Clod, and he has a wooden leg and frightens sheep. And then the next one is called Gullygawk, who steals milk from cows' udders.
Ooh, okay.
And then Stubby comes next, who is the shortest Yule lad, and he steals food from frying pans.
Okay.
Then the rest of them, you can probably figure out what they do by their names. So you have Spoon Licker, Pot Scraper, Bowl Licker, Door Slammer, Skur Gobbler, eating the Skur yogurts.
Oh, okay.
Sausage Swiper, Window Peeker, creepy, Door Sniffer, Meat Hook, and then the last one is Candle Beggar. And so that's also why on the 13th, when Candle Beggar finally returns home, they have bonfires and stuff because he has left, and so they have like
the mischief is done, right?
Yeah,
so
well, and also he was the candle person, so they're like lighting a fire to be like, okay, candle beggar left. And the Christmas cat comes, so you have to make sure you get clothing. So one of your gifts from one of these Yule lads better be some clothes.
And definitely don't be naughty unless you want to be boiled and eaten. That's the moral.
And if you're hiking around in northern Iceland randomly, you might just find their home.
Man, I gotta say, that's like way worse than just getting a lump of coal. Like, that's hardly even a threat comparatively.
I love it. I'm like, all right, you got a whole thing going on over there in Iceland.
Yeah. Fascinating. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I was curious about, and we've talked about this before, about the paper crowns that apparently people wear in the UK on
Mm-hmm.
Christmas. And
Mm-hmm.
the only reason I know about this is like Bridget Jones's Diary or
Yep.
other.
Love Actually, Harry Potter.
Yes, Harry Potter. And they're wearing these paper crowns. And I'm like, what the hell is this about? Like, is this just like a cheap party hat? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand what this is. So I had to look it up. So apparently, the paper crowns actually come from a tradition of Christmas crackers. And
Okay.
I'm not talking about the type you eat. This would be, it's basically like a long cardboard tube.
Mm-hmm.
And it has a strip along it that has a, in the words of this article, a tiny explosive charge, which honestly sounds dangerous, but you know, whatever.
Oh, I think it's probably like those like party poppers.
Yes,
confetti.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like that's what I'm imagining.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes a loud crack. And basically you and another person, the person who's sitting next to you or whatever, each grab onto an end and pull, and it pops open, and it's filled with various things, candy and other like kind of cheap treats, like little trinkets and things like that. And then also a paper crown is typically put in these Christmas crackers. And then you have to wear the paper crown. Now, apparently the crown itself is something that can be traced back to ancient Rome. And I guess they wore festive crowns or headgear to celebrate Saturnalia, which took place around the winter solstice. So the crowns are kind of, I guess, a small nod to that kind of dress that was used for the winter solstice. Yeah, but I think more importantly is they started getting stuffed in these Christmas crackers. And the Christmas crackers are a very important tradition on Christmas in the UK. So that is why they wear the crowns.
Just because they're in the Christmas cracker.
Yes.
Got it.
Yep.
I mean, I suppose if I was getting a hat, I would put it on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because even if someone gave me a hat as a Christmas gift, I'm probably putting it on with the tag still on and just sitting there. Right?
Yep.
So.
Yeah. And I think it probably just goes with the whole, I mean, I'm kind of like picturing when you like grab the wishbone at Thanksgiving and break it, but like, you know, the whole tradition of breaking the cracker and everything. And then just like, if there's something in it, you would put it on, and it's just like silly and fun.
I'm picturing like these little trinkets. I'm picturing like a Kinder Egg situation.
Yes.
Like those little.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They specifically said it's typically like really cheap. And though you can get upscale Christmas crackers.
Oh, fancy.
That have like fancy chocolate and whiskey and things like that in them. So but the traditional ones are like, little toys and trinkets and candy and things like that. And the paper crown, very important. So also on that note, as I was reading this, I also found something about Merry Christmas versus Happy Christmas. So it always bothered me too that like in Harry Potter and Bridget Jones, they all say Happy Christmas. And I'm like, who says Happy Christmas? That's, I don't know, you know, because it's very American to say Merry Christmas, I feel like. But in the UK, it's more traditional to say Happy Christmas. And it always like hit my ear wrong for whatever reason, probably because I'm just not used to it. But that actually came about because some clergymen decided that greeting was too associated with being inebriated. So being merry was associated with being drunk.
Being drunk?
Yes. And
this feels like a Victorian era situation.
I know, right? Yeah. So they changed it to Happy Christmas, and that just stuck in the UK for whatever reason.
So it used to be merry?
Yeah. Yes. They changed it.
Rude. So I feel like we are justified in the US for saying the correct.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yes.
Got it.
Yep.
Got it.
We just weren't as influenced by the clergymen who were dissatisfied with the term merry. So in case anyone was wondering, there's your other fun fact about the UK and Christmas. I mostly looked up US traditions, but the one other international tradition that I wanted to look up more on was Japan, because I recently learned, like within the last few years, and so I don't know, maybe other people don't know, that in Japan it is very traditional to celebrate with a Christmas meal of Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah.
Yes. That Kentucky Fried Chicken. And so I was kind of curious why that started. And wouldn't you know, it's just the result of a marketing campaign that KFC
figures.
ran. Yeah, the KFC ran in the 70s. And they just thought they would associate for eating fried chicken with Christmas. And it was wildly successful. So much so that to this day, Japanese families will order their buckets of fried chicken like weeks in advance.
Oh, wow.
Like
You gotta prep it.
Yeah, reserve their bucket of fried chicken. And as Christmas gets closer, the lines go out the door and people are waiting to pick up their bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken. The ad campaign was called Kentucky for Christmas. So,
I mean, so the Colonel sort of looks like Santa Claus.
That's a good point. I never even thought about that.
Yeah. When I went to Japan and we were there in December, like right before Christmas, because we were going skiing. And when we were in Tokyo, first of all, the whole city was completely decorated for Christmas. I thought I was going to escape Christmas by going to Japan because no one is Christian there.
Yeah.
And instead I went to Japan and it was completely decorated like crazy for Christmas with Santa Clauses everywhere and all sorts of stuff. But outside of the Kentucky Fried Chicken restaurants, they had statues of the Colonel wearing the little Santa outfit.
The Santa hat. Kentucky for Christmas.
I guess. So
get your Kentucky Fried Chicken. It just seems like this, I don't know, paradox of all the things.
I mean, I don't know why they're celebrating Christmas anyway, but
right, with fried chicken. I
mean, I guess it all probably is American on some level, Christmas and KFC.
Like a little Western novelty for the holiday. The power of advertisement.
Yeah. It's amazing. I found another tradition that I don't know if it's necessarily the same sort of advertising, but it did start because of like a marketing situation. And this one's old though, from the early 1900s.
Oh, wow.
So in Oaxaca, in Mexico.
Okay.
On December 23rd, they celebrate something called Noche de Rabanos, which means Night of the Radishes.
Radishes, okay.
Yeah. And basically this tradition is that in the square, like the town square, these people come from all over Oaxaca and they bring these very intricately carved radishes to display around the square. And then that night, someone gets crowned the winner of the Night of the Radishes for having the best sculpture.
Okay.
And because it's a radish, they really only can display them on the 23rd. So basically the morning of the 23rd, people show up, finish their carving and set it up. And then by 9 p.m., that's when the competition judging happens. Because a radish, when you carve the red part out, like the white part's going to get brown and weird. So the carvings don't last. So basically this is like a 12-hour extravaganza of radishes. But essentially it started because in the early 1900s, the weather that year led to an abundance of radish crop. I guess a lot of radishes are just grown in this area of the world. And so it led to an abundance of the crop. And so they didn't all get harvested. And on December 23rd, there traditionally was held a Christmas market that also sold a lot of produce and other food for people to get for the holiday the next day to cook at home. And so one of the farmers was harvesting all of his food to bring to this market, and he found all of these radishes that had not been harvested yet. And because they hadn't been harvested, they had grown to these crazy sizes. And if you see radishes, when they grow, they keep growing, but they get kind of weird. Like sometimes they look like they have little legs, or they look like you know what I mean? They get all twisty and stuff. And so basically these farmers, they took these weirdly shaped radishes and brought them to their booth and carved them to just get people's attention to come to their booth to buy their produce at the market. And people thought it was so fun that they just started doing it again the next year and had a competition to see who could carve the cutest radish sculpture. And so this was, like I said, the early 1900s. And so they've been doing it every year since. And it's just grown and grown. I was reading that if you want to go to the Night of the Radishes, the best time is to go early, right after people have just set up. Because if you go at like 5 p.m. or later, you'll probably be waiting in line like 2 to 3 hours to see all of these radish sculptures. And they carve them in. They're really cute. Like, I would recommend to anyone to Google it, because some of them are like religious scenes. So I saw one that was like the Last Supper carved out of radishes, and then like a nativity scene carved out of radishes. But then some are more cultural scenes, so they might carve like a whole little mariachi band out of radishes or things like that. Wow. Yeah, they're really cute, honestly, and kind of fun. Like, they'll even do mythical creatures like, you know, big serpents or other sort of, I don't know, dragon-y sort of creatures. But yeah, I feel like that's kind of marketing, where they're trying to get people to come to their booth, but now
unintentionally, though. They had no idea it was going to take off.
Yeah.
And radishes, the root vegetable of Christmas.
Yep.
Apparently.
I guess in Oaxaca.
Yeah. I know when you said Oaxaca, I was hoping the tradition had to do with cheese.
No, just radishes.
Yeah. That was definitely a curveball. I was not expecting that. Okay, well, yet another perhaps marketing scheme. So a Christmas tradition I came across that you had told me about before, but I swear I've never heard of this, is pickle ornaments on the tree. So apparently here in the US, a lot of people have a tradition of hiding a pickle ornament in the tree, and whoever finds it, whatever kid finds it first, gets an extra present or like a special present for finding it.
My dad would always give us a special gift, and then the joke was that the gift was a hug.
Oh.
Lame.
It's such a dad joke. It's like, that's perfect. Oh my God. Your gift is a hug. Yep. That's really funny. So I was reading a little bit about why a pickle ornament, and you know, what's the significance? So apparently there are some competing stories.
Okay.
The first is, there's a legend that goes, 2 boys were killed by an evil innkeeper who put their bodies in a pickle barrel. Yikes. But a passing Saint Nicholas was able to magically revive them. So like the pickles associated with this pickle barrel. All right.
What are these like horrifying?
I don't know.
There's children.
Christmas is a dark holiday. It's a dark holiday.
Yes.
The second story is that a German-born soldier in the American Civil War was imprisoned and begged for one last pickle before he died. A guard took pity on him and gave him a pickle, which miraculously sustained him. So that's the second story. Significance of the pickle. And then the third and the most likely story is that Woolworths got a bunch of German ornaments in, and some of them were shaped like pickles, and they needed to get rid of them. So they marketed them to people with this idea of like the pickle ornament being something special. Yeah. I would say that number 3 is probably
That's probably the one.
Yeah.
That's probably the one.
Right.
Although if you go to the Germany pavilion in Epcot, and you go to the Christmas store, you can buy the pickle ornaments there.
Yeah, apparently it is a German thing. I mean, I guess they just love pickles, but the way it became a tradition here in the US is mostly sounds like Woolworths. So funny though, one of our other Christmas traditions, which I didn't think about, that I also like lobbied hard for my parents.
You were doing a lot of lobbying as a child.
To get the things that I wanted for whatever reason. So we have this ornament that's in the shape of a cat, but it's a box, so it opens. And it's not like the Icelandic Christmas.
Yeah, no.
And my mom would put money or gift cards in there. So like after we had opened all of the presents under the tree, she would be like, you have to check the cat. And that would be like kind of like a little bonus present of something small, which was usually like cash or a gift card or something like that. That's cute. what we started doing, which again, I think was partially my idea because I probably saw it somewhere and I thought it was like such a cool idea, is that I wanted a treasure hunt for Christmas.
Oh, of course. I mean, what kid doesn't want a treasure hunt?
Exactly. I mean, I was, mildly obsessed with all things treasure hunt related for a while. So now the Christmas cat contains the first clue of the treasure hunt. And my sister and I would always get the first clue, and then the clues would be hidden all around the house, sometimes outside. There were a couple times where my mom hid one in her barn. We had to go outside to find it. And then the clues would eventually lead us to kind of a big special Christmas present. That was something for both of us when we were kids. And
that's fun.
There were definitely a couple years though where I was like, I know where you hide the presents. I don't even need to follow the clues.
So smart.
I know my parents had to get more creative with where they hid the presents, and then also they made a rule that we had to find all the clues. So
yeah.
So after I asked for the treasure hunt, then I wanted to cheat on the treasure hunt.
Can't cut corners.
Nope.
Got to keep yourself occupied on Christmas.
So I guess that's our version of finding the pickle.
That's awesome. Hey, Katie, remember that time that we wanted to start a podcast based on all of our random research conversations?
Yeah, and we had no idea what we were doing or how we would even make a podcast.
Yeah, that's the time. It was a really good thing we found Podbean, because that made it super easy to upload all of our episodes to multiple streaming platforms.
Podbean is a really simple platform for hosting and publishing your podcast.
So, if you and your best friend are having random conversations that you think should be a podcast, check out Podbean.
And if you do, use our link to get a month free. Podbean.com/obvious. That's PODBEAN.com/obvious.
And become super cool podcasters like us.
World famous. So something else that I stumbled across that I had never really given much thought to, but I thought was kind of fun, is the Yule Log on TV.
Yes, I have a DVD of the
Yule Log. You have a DVD of the Yule Log?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. And now it's on demand, or there's channels that play it or whatever. So I had no idea, but that tradition started back in 1966. That has been going on since 1966. Yes.
No, that's crazy.
I know. I was shocked because I thought that was a more recent thing.
I definitely did too.
Some cable company put it on, or I don't know, something along those lines. But yeah, back in 1966, WPIX TV in New York City aired a 17-second loop of a burning Yule log and 3 hours of Christmas music. And I think the idea was just some people don't have a fireplace and they'll like this. And it was so popular, it just kept going. And then obviously it's caught on to a ridiculous amount because you have a DVD and you can stream it on demand anytime.
Well, and now I feel like there's all the pop culture Yule logs. Kevin always watches the Nick Offerman Yule log video, right? Where he's just drinking a scotch in front of a fire for 3 hours. and then I know on Disney Plus they have a Frozen Yule log, so it's just the fireplace from the Frozen castle, and every once in a while Olaf will walk in. And then they also have I think there's a How to Train Your Dragon Yule log with goofy things will just pop in every once in a while. So I feel like people have taken the Yule log and made their own takes on it.
Yep. There are a couple years where I put on, and I don't even remember where I found it, but there's Christmas puppies and Christmas kittens with a Yule log in the back. And it's just and it's just puppies, bouncing around a Christmas tree and playing with each other and tearing up wrapping paper. And it was really cute. Who would have thought? 1966. I was shocked to find out that it has been around that long. That just some TV station was this is a good idea. And now look at us.
Probably easy programming to be all right, this is a holiday. We can't really spend time having a program. So we'll just put this loop on with some music.
And look where it's brought us.
Wow, that person should be getting royalties. Whoever thought
right from every single Yule Log channel that's out there now. Yeah. So there you go.
So I don't know what the deal is with all of these scary Christmas tales.
Right.
But I also wanted to look up Krampus because I feel like this is also a scary Christmas thing. I was thinking about like the horror movie that came out. So I was like, all right, what is the deal? Yeah, and then last year I watched that Red One movie with The Rock in it, and that had Krampus too. And so I was like, all right, what is the deal with Krampus? So Krampus is actually a lot crazier than I thought. Which I don't know. Like, there's just a lot of lore involved with Krampus, and I didn't realize. So, Krampus, from what people can tell, dates back to the 12th century. So, like, in the 1100s is when Krampus tales first started emerging. And I feel like we shouldn't be shocked to find out that these tales all basically came from Bavaria. I don't know why that doesn't surprise me, that that part of Germany is just coming up with these mythical figures, but, you know, based on like our werewolf discussion and everything else, I'm like, sure, there's also Krampus there. That makes sense. But the oldest original traditions say that Krampus was the son of the Norse god, is it Hel or Heel? Hel. And he basically is a devil kind of creature. And he is essentially seen as the counterpart to Saint Nicholas. So just to back up real quick, in the US, we tend to associate Saint Nicholas and Santa Claus as the same person. But in a lot of parts of Europe, they're not the same person, and people celebrate St. Nicholas Day, which is the Catholic feast day for St. Nicholas that happens on December 6th. Okay. So Krampus is celebrated on Krampusnacht, which is on December 5th. So the night before St. Nicholas comes. And basically, it's like a good and evil situation where you have Krampus, who is the devil sort of person, it's very satanic, and then Saint Nicholas, who is the saintly character. And so during the 1100s, when these Krampus tales first started popping up, the medieval Inquisition was also happening at this time. And Saint Nicholas, the real saint person, he was also known as an exorcist. And so they think that it's not surprising that this Krampus character gets associated with St. Nicholas, because in a lot of depictions, you have St. Nicholas sort of carrying Krampus in chains and kind of like taming him.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yes. So anyway, so Krampus, what does he look like? If you haven't seen a depiction of him, he's basically like a very hairy, half man, half goat type of creature that has like big horns and a long tongue, and 1 foot that's a human foot and 1 foot that's a goat, like a goat foot. And he essentially just punishes the bad kids on Krampusnacht. And so if you don't get punished on Krampusnacht, that means that you're good. And then on St. Nicholas Day, St. Nicholas is going to bring you a present.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
Terrifying.
So Krampus goes around. Today, people, they wear these like very intricately carved masks to depict Krampus. And some of the old carved masks are actually regarded as like folk art and are displayed in museums and stuff because they're very like painstakingly and carved and things like this. And so Krampus will walk around town, and he usually carries a switch with him. And if you are in town on Krampusnacht, like, you might run into Krampus and his followers, and he'll actually like hit you with the switch. In 2013, I guess, there was like one Krampusnacht festival that got crazy, and it sent 13 people to the hospital with broken bones.
Oh my God.
Yes.
What a Christmas present.
I know. So anyway, the other thing that might happen is he might come to your house and deliver a bundle of golden stick, which represents the switch that he has. And so parents will like hang the bundle of golden sticks on the wall to remind children throughout the year that they need to be good, because Krampus will come and get you. But what also is kind of crazy is that starting in the late 1800s, people would exchange postcards that had depictions of Krampus on them, some of them like capturing children or like chasing women around or
Oh
things
my
like this.
God.
And they all just would say like greetings from Krampus on them.
Is that like a threat?
I don't know. But I guess these Krampus postcards is how the tradition started to become known in the US, because in 2004, a person named Monte Beauchamp published a book of vintage Krampus cards. And then that sort of like took off in the US. And then since that moment is when the US has seen like these movies and other depictions of Krampus as this evil character.
Okay. Wow.
I know.
That's intense.
Yeah. I mean, I know there's like Krampus knocked festivals that happen in different cities around the US. We have one here. So I think it is like catching on in the US as a tradition, but it was just a lot more lore than I anticipated.
I was thinking about the Office episode and Dwight, but it's not Krampus who he portrays. I thought it was. Apparently, that's a common misconception. He actually portrays Belschnickel, which is...
Oh, I saw that in my research, a similar situation.
Yes, it's a related, kind of similar to Krampus. It's from old German folklore, but also has been preserved in Pennsylvania Dutch communities, which makes sense because they're in Scranton and, you know, it's...
The Amish.
Okay. Yeah. But so he actually portrays Belschnickel, which he describes as a dirty, worse Santa, and better because he spreads fear. And yeah, so that's the image I have in my head is Dwight Schrute dressed up as Belschnickel. He also carries a switch and then goes around asking people or deciding if people are admirable or impish. Know the difference, I guess. Belschnickel, Krampus, two very different.
Yeah. There are several of these characters. I also saw like there's a couple of characters in like Danish tradition and some other European traditions that are just kind of similar to this sort of devilish character that goes around with Saint Nicholas. Not to be confused with Santa Claus. Very
different. Okay, well, you were talking about Krampus cards, so that actually makes me think. So as I was kind of just reading about Christmas traditions, I was reading about Christmas cards, which, to be honest, I never really thought about where those came from. I mean, they're very ubiquitous today. I was working on our Christmas card today on Shutterfly, adding in my photos and trying to be on top of things this year.
I need to do that.
I don't even know why I started doing it. I kind of dread it, but then I'm always glad when I have them. But it's like the actual process of creating the card and mailing the cards just seems like a lot of work. But I say that, and then funny enough, the whole reason that Christmas greeting cards got started was that in England around 1843, this guy, Sir Henry Cole, he had a lot of Christmas letters to respond to. So it was very traditional in Victorian England to write a letter around the holidays, Christmas or New Year's, to your acquaintances, a greeting, hello, here's how things are going, because obviously we don't have telephones or anything back then, so it's just like a traditional way to communicate. And what happened around this time was the penny post had been implemented, which allowed people to send letters anywhere in the country for a penny.
Oh.
Which meant that it was becoming more and more common to send these letters, and people were able to do it more easily.
Okay.
So apparently he had a giant stack of Christmas letters, and it was considered rude not to respond to someone's letter because, again, this is like the form of communication. You don't just like let it go unanswered.
Mr. Popular. All right.
Yeah. And so instead of writing a bunch of reply letters, which was very time consuming, right? You would handwrite the letter. He decided to go to a friend of his, J.C. Horsley, asked him to create this image on a postcard size piece of paper. Basically, and the image was just of some people gathered around a table celebrating the holidays. And there was a to line at the top and a from line at the bottom, so he could personalize personalize them, and he had like, I don't know, a bunch of them printed, and that's what he sent out to people in response to their Christmas letters.
Can you imagine if you were one of those people and you received that as the first time? You'd be like, yes. What the hell is this?
Rude. How rude. You don't have time to write me a letter? Like, what the hell?
I mean, either that or maybe you think it would be cool to get like a little picture.
Yes. So actually, it did eventually catch on. Like, people liked this idea, but it took decades for that to happen. But part of the reason people liked it is the artwork. So they became more of a focus on the artwork, and there were like greeting card competitions and things like that. The artwork kind of became the commodity and something unique to be receiving. So that was in England. In 1878, Louis Prang, a printer in Boston, he's a Prussian immigrant. He's credited with creating the first American Christmas card. But then the real modern Christmas card industry could be said to have started in 1915 when a Kansas City-based postcard printing company started by Joyce Hall, later joined by his brothers, Raleigh and William, published their first holiday card, the Hall Brothers, aka Hallmark.
Yes.
So that's when it like probably really, really took off. But England, 1848, didn't make it over to America until 1878. And the Christmas cards were really just a way to save yourself some time.
Yeah. I don't have to write all these letters.
Right? And now I laugh because I'm like, oh, Christmas cards, they take so much time. Mailing things.
I like getting Christmas cards though. So I feel like too. I have to pay it forward and send my own.
Yes.
Because I like getting them.
Yeah. No, I like getting them. I like sending them out. I like that people are receiving a card from us. I like picking the picture. It's just like there's something, it's probably just procrastination in general, because it just feels like a task to be done, during the holidays. And there's like other things you have to be doing too, like presents and, food.
Another
so it's like so it's just like one more thing, but like overall I enjoy the tradition. I just like to also complain about it. So
I think you and most people, let's be real.
Yeah. But yes, so there you go. That's when Christmas cards started and why. Yeah, some other ones that I ran across that were uniquely American.
Okay.
So in Louisiana, they light Christmas bonfires. So they have these tree-shaped bonfires along the Mississippi River levees, and it's a Cajun tradition that they do, and they light up these bonfires all along the levees on Christmas Eve, and they say it's supposed to help Santa Claus find his way to Louisiana. So I thought that one was kind of cute and unique.
That's fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And I also came across this one, made me think of you. In Chandler, Arizona, they construct a Christmas tree entirely out of tumbleweeds.
Yes.
It made me think of you, obviously, because I recall you having a story about camping with your family and you and your brother and sister adopting a tumbleweed.
We did.
That was like your entertainment for a day.
It was. We had a pet tumbleweed for a hot minute.
Yeah.
His name was Brian O'Brien. In case
that's right, Brian O'Brien.
Brian O'Brien.
Yep. The tumbleweed. So in Chandler, Arizona, in 1957, they started this tumbleweed Christmas tree, and the city used to decorate the light poles in the town, but in 1957, they updated the light poles, and apparently they were not as sturdy as the previous ones, and so the decorations that they had didn't really work with the new light poles. And
so we picked a tumbleweed?
So the town decorator, Earl Barnum, suggested that they make a Christmas tree out of tumbleweeds. And it's made out of over 1,000 tumbleweeds. Oh, wow. It's quite large, and 1,200 Christmas lights. And apparently they've had a lot of issues with vandalism, and it's been burned 7 times since they started. I know people try to set it on fire, right?
Jerks.
But Yeah.
But dang, are they collecting tumbleweeds all year for this situation?
I don't know. Yeah, where do they
That's
get these
crazy.
tumbleweeds? I don't know. They just have a lot of them, I guess.
People need to stop burning it. Otherwise, it's going to end up like the Keen Pumpkin Festival. We can't have
Right?
these things.
Well, when you think about it, since it started in 1957, we're like 60 some years, right? That it's been going on. Only 7 times has it actually been set on fire. So, yeah, unnecessary.
Yeah. Seems, can't you just enjoy this for what it is? Why do we need to set it on fire?
Right.
I don't know.
Agreed. So, but there you go. If you're ever in Chandler, Arizona, go see their tumbleweed tree.
That's amazing.
I feel like every city has a tree like that. Not like tumbleweeds, but in Indianapolis we have the Circle of Lights, which they do the monument downtown on the circle. They string lights up to make it like a Christmas tree.
Nice. In Rochester, the Genesee Brew House has a tree that's made out of kegs.
Yes, I read about that too.
It was just named the #1 Christmas tree in Newsweek's Reader's Choice Awards for Best Christmas Tree in the U.S.
Oh, nice.
The Genesee Brew House keg tree. Yep. So, I mean, I don't know if the tumbleweed tree was competing though, because I feel like that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Giant.
If it came down to tumbleweed tree versus keg tree, I don't know.
Keg tree.
What I'd pick. Tumbleweed tree is pretty amazing.
Does Baltimore have a city tree for Christmas?
So we don't have a tree, but we have the Washington Monument, which was the first Washington Monument in the U.S., and we light that up. And so they do a big ceremony to light up the Washington Monument.
Do they like string the lights down to kind of make it look like the shape of a tree?
It's sort of like strung from
that's like what they do with our monument too.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and we have a little like Christmas village Christmas market too in the harbor with like a Ferris wheel and like the traditional little like Christmas market buildings, and you can get the little mini cups that are shaped like little mini boots that have like wine and hot cocoa and stuff.
Yes. Mulled cider.
Yes. Yeah. So that's fun.
Okay. Then I've got one more thing for you. So why are we building gingerbread houses at Christmas?
You know what I just saw?
What?
In the grocery store? There was a kit to make a Cheez-It house. I know. I was I need that though.
What store?
It was the grocery store.
I need to look for that.
Yeah.
I would totally buy that.
Right?
I want to make a house out of cheese. Like, are they giant Cheez-Its?
I don't know. I think they were just regular size, but
you just like glue them together.
I don't know. I think it was using some kind of like cream cheese situation.
Oh my goodness. Like brick and mortar Cheez-It and cream cheese. I love it. What would you use to decorate a Cheez-It house?
Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, you could go like salty sweet and do like M&Ms.
Yeah, it's true. That would be pretty good. Maybe some other crackers that are different colors or something too. And just more cheese,
Christmas
maybe.
Goldfish.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to be looking into that. Mm-hmm. So that's way better than gingerbread.
Well, I want to know where this tradition came from, that Cheez-It is adopting it.
Yes. Okay. So apparently gingerbread houses were popular in Germany, like many of our Christmas traditions, it seems, and really became more popular in the early 1800s. And they do credit the Hansel and Gretel Grimm fairy tale with giving the gingerbread house more popularity or traction. Like bakers were starting to make houses out of gingerbread, that they were kind of conceptualizing the house from Hansel and Gretel where the witch lives, which in the tale, she actually just lives in a house made of cake with sugar glass windows. Oh. But gingerbread was a common bread / treat to make around Christmas time. And so it would make sense that the bakers would use that. So Hansel and Gretel is kind of what I read made it more popular. I also read, however, that the tradition of gingerbread and gingerbread houses goes back as far as the 1600s, so way before the Hansel and Gretel story came about. And in fact, that the tale of Hansel and Gretel might have roots in a 14th century famine when families would actually turn their children out of the house to fend for themselves because there wasn't enough food to feed everybody. Yeah. So it's possible that the tale of Hansel and Gretel also related to this old practice from the 14th century and the fact that gingerbread as a baked good came into existence back in the 1600s. There probably were gingerbread houses way back then too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I don't know.
I mean, I could see that though, because gingerbread houses, they do sort of have that, again, like Bavarian characteristic. The way that they look, even.
Right.
Just all our Christmas traditions are from Germany, I guess.
Yes, right? Yeah. But yeah, apparently that really took off after the Hansel and Gretel tale came out, and it has just stuck around and brought over to the US by German immigrants. And so I guess now we still do it. Have you ever made a gingerbread house? I find them very difficult.
I've never made one, to be honest.
Oh, they're difficult.
Yeah.
I find them difficult.
The last tradition that I looked up, because I don't know if people saw this on social media last year, but I feel like it was a trend that was going around social media last year. And so I was curious about it. It's actually a New Year's tradition, so not a Christmas tradition. Okay. But it is celebrated in Spain and also most parts of Latin America. And it's called the Uvas de la Suerte, which is the eating of the 12 grapes.
This was a trend on social media last year?
It like trended last year. I don't know what was going on. But it's an old tradition. They think again that it started in the early 1900s. But the idea is that you have to eat 12 grapes at the stroke of midnight to have good luck for the next year.
Oh. I do vaguely remember this. Okay.
Yeah. And so when the clock strikes 12, you have to eat 12 grapes, so one for every month of the coming year, and you have to finish chewing them and swallow before the clock gets to 12:01.
Okay, so 60 seconds, 12 grapes.
Yes, you have to eat the grapes. They think that this tradition started in the early 1900s because there was a surplus of grapes in Spain that year. And so the farmers were like, how can we get rid of these grapes? Let's have everyone eat 12 grapes on New Year's. And so that tradition, like I said, it's really popular in Spain, but it also traveled over to a lot of Latin America as well. And today it's so popular that if you're in Spain, a lot of supermarkets pre-package the grapes for you to consume specifically at midnight. So they'll have packaging that's like, get these grapes for your 12 grapes, or, you know, for New Year's or whatever. Sometimes they'll even pre-peel and pre-de-seed them and put them into like individual packets. So you can buy like party pack or whatever when everyone has
and hand them
12 grape packet
yeah
to eat the 12 grapes to make it easier. But then sometimes you might find ones that they're marketing that they still have the seeds and stuff in order to make it harder to do your 12 grape ritual. Like, add a fun twist to your 12 grapes with these to make it harder.
Fun, but okay.
And then the joke is that they will televise the clock tower with the striking of the 12 dings so that people who are all over Spain can like watch the clock and eat their grapes with the dings. But there's some people that think that they purposely slow the dings down on New Year's Eve so that people have more time and also like don't choke on
conspiracy theories.
Yeah. So
great conspiracies.
Yeah, but I guess if you want to have good luck in the new year, you should eat 12 grapes.
12 grapes
at midnight and finish them before 12:01.
I guess I'm glad they decided not to carve the grapes like the radishes, because that would be really difficult.
Yeah, I guess you could make a sculpture out of grapes, but I don't think you can carve them as well.
Or vice versa. Just think if they if they'd been like, for this tradition, you have to eat this giant weird radish as quickly as possible.
Radishes at midnight.
Yeah. Yeah. Ugh. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I will be thinking a little bit harder about the Christmas traditions that I choose to participate in this year and wondering, where did these come from and why? Why do we do them? It's probably a surplus of goods or a marketing campaign, to be honest.
That seems to be the trend, except for Iceland being out on its own little island with trolls that just come down from the mountains.
Yep. And Christmas cats. Scary Christmas cats.
Thank you for listening to Researching the Obvious. To learn more fun facts about everything that we're researching, follow us on Instagram at Researching the Obvious Pod, all one word. You can also follow us on Spotify, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you know someone that you think would enjoy listening to all of our findings, please feel free to share or give us a review. Researching the Obvious is written, produced, edited, and hosted by Emily Fekete and Katie Nakanishi. Tune in next time to hear more obvious facts. I kind of think the Christmas cat, like Mulligan, must be a reincarnated version of the Iceland Christmas cat. It just makes sense to me because he's a scary black cat that eats humans. I mean, it works.